Hi, everyone. Welcome. Very excited to see you all here live in person. I'm Lisa Gold. I am the Executive Director of A4. So happy. So for those of you who are familiar with A4, you know we are a 40-year-old nonprofit service organization dedicated to supporting Asian American artists and arts organizations. And we do that through resource sharing, promotion, community building. And this program, What Can We Do, really embodies those values. And you, the artists who create these programs, the same echoes for that. So a little bit behind how this program started. So over the past few years, you know, we've really witnessed, sadly, an increase in anti-Asian hate and, you know, just a disproportionate impact on the AAPI community. And, you know, with venues closing and people just losing opportunities for income, for jobs, for community. And we wanted to create an opportunity for artists because people were feeling frustrated, angry, scared, all of these feelings. But we know art heals. We know the healing power of art. And we know that artists have power in the work that they make and they create and their ability to heal us. And so we wanted artists to feel that agency. And so we created this program to give a little bit of support for artists to be able to do just that. And we launched this program in 2022. And that year we received 53 applications and we randomly selected 30 artists to present an active creative care for the AAPI community. And then this year, we focused the program a little bit more on Chinatown, Manhattan's Chinatown and Flushing. And we put out the call again, and we got 43% more applications this year than last year, total of 76 applications, and we selected 30. So we were selected. Good jobs this year. So tonight, we are going to present the Chinatown-based projects. And last week, we presented the Flushing-based projects, but because the world was on fire, we had to do that virtually. So if you want to watch, we recorded that and it's on our YouTube channel. So you can see some of the really incredible projects that artists did. It was very, very moving. So let's see. So just a few thanks are in order. Big thanks to our council member, Chris Marte, who is District 1 City Council member here. He's up for re-election. Just remember, everybody, early voting starts on Saturday. We're not advocating, we're just informing you. But he has been very, very generous and a great supporter of the Chinatown community and the artist programs here. So we just want to thank him for his support. And also, big thanks to Brian Shan and all of our friends here at CPC for hosting us in this amazing space. And of course, big props to Justine, the programs director, who you all know, who unbelievably managed to coordinate 30 different artist projects, working with all the community organizations, all of the artists. And also Danny Wu, who helped publicize all of these programs. So thank you to both of you for making it. And then a couple of announcements and land acknowledgement. If you didn't RSVP, but you're here, please just sign in on the clipboard, and there are name tags over there too. You can fill out a name tag. If you need Wi-Fi, it's CPC Guest, and the password is CPC Wireless. And there are restrooms and water fountains back through that door. So a couple of upcoming A4 events. So next month, how many of you have been to an A4 town hall? Any of you? A couple? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, a few of you. It's great. Totally unbiased opinion. But next one is going to take place Wednesday, July 19th at Asia Art Archive in America, another really beautiful space. And the theme is going to be on tracing history. So it's going to be really interesting. It's a beautiful space. So check it out. It's on our website. There you go. So we'll have two artists, Abika Trotzi and Tommy Cott. Tommy just had a show just down the street at Baxter Street, so it's a great photographer. So sign up for that. Another thing, so a big part of what A4 does, I've been doing it all day today, is advocate for our community and for artists of color and arts organizations led by and serving people of color. And we've been involved with an appeal for budget equity with a broad coalition of organizations, including LXNY, Dance NYC, Cool Culture, many others. And we did this, we came together because last year, the city made some reforms to try to improve equity in the granting process to organizations. But what they ended up doing, while it was great that they increased the minimum award amount for smaller organizations, that came at the expense of many service organizations and other small and mid-sized organizations, while the cultural institutions group, like the Met, the zoos, many of those received $1 million increases. So we know that's not equity, that's not what it looks like. And so we created this letter. You can just shoot that QR code and sign your name and join 600 other artists, advocates, and people of color who believe that we deserve our fair share of funding and support from the city. So please sign up, share it with your friends. Thank you very much. Okay, next slide. We are going to talk about the AMP. So have you checked out our new online magazine? Yeah, I see some, yay, yeah, awesome. So if you haven't, it's, again, totally unbiased. It is amazing. It features interviews, essays, reviews, all sorts of great content about AAPI artists, creators, and what's being made right now. So last weekend, I looked at the city arts review, and it's like a listing and photographs of all these artists and not a single AAPI artist in that spread in the New York Times. And that's why we created the AMP, to tell our stories, to create a platform for artists to showcase their work, for us to archive the work that is being made by our community right now, and to have work reviewed through a culturally competent lens, to give writers, AAPI writers, paid opportunities to get their work out into the public, and then hopefully infiltrate these other publications so that we can start seeing AAPIs in the Washington Post, in the New York Times, in the Wall Street Journal, in all of these places. So check it out. If you want to be a part of the AMP, you can pitch a story to us, the AMP at aaartsalliance.org. So I would suggest you check it out. There's a lot of good content in there, including a new series that we're going to be launching soon about A4's 40th anniversary, and looking back and looking forward, because we are turning 40. We've already kind of turned 40, but we're celebrating on October 12th, also downtown here over at the Manny Cantor Center. So mark the date, October 12th. We'll be sending out information soon. Very exciting. And then finally, just a friendly reminder to please share your work with us. You can post it on the A4 website if you have an opportunity, you're looking for a collaborator, or of a residency or something that could be a benefit to the community, please share it. So it's free. You can log in, you can sign up for our newsletter on there. And we created this calendar and this opportunities listing to serve you. So I hope you take advantage of it. And then I just want to send some thanks to the people who here. So thank you to the fine folks at Con Edison, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, in partnership with the City Council, the New York State Council on the Arts with the support of Governor Kathy Hochul and the New York State Legislature, the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York Community Trust, the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Ruth Foundation, and so many generous individuals who make our programs possible. And if you would like to be among those generous individuals, feel free to text A4 donate to that number, or you can hit that QR code and donate via Zelle or PayPal. So, okay, let's talk about what can we do. Oh, sorry, all those things. So there's some really impressive numbers here. So we had 30 artists, actually more than 30 because there were some collaboratives and collectives. So we started with 30 grants who initiated 30 projects over 3 months in these two neighborhoods, districts 1 and 20. And we had 27 community organization partners reaching over 250,000 people. Isn't that impressive?
Yes.
So look at you. You go. Give yourselves a hand. Really impressive. But the next slide is the artists. So these are all of the artist awardees, and the ones who are highlighted will be presenting tonight. So each artist or collective will have about 3 minutes to share a little bit about their project. And then we'll have a Q&A at the end so you can ask questions. And we also have dumplings and wine and beer and sesame pancakes. So, yeah. So some people who were awarded, who did projects in Chinatown, unfortunately can't be here tonight, but they sent us videos. So we are going to start with Chanel. Oh, sorry, just an FYI. So everybody's got about 3 minutes, and I'll time you. I'll be sitting in the front row. No pressure. But I'll time you. So if you're getting close to going over your time, I'll just give you a little up there. So first up, we're going to introduce Chanel Matsunami Guvro, who did her project with Alicia Akwe at Think Chinatown.
Hi, my name is Alicia. My pronouns are she and they, and I am the co-founder of Unblended Project. Hello, my name is Chanel Matsunami Gubro. My pronouns are they, she, and I am a co-founder of Unblended Project. I am a writer, artist, and workshop A from Brooklyn, New York. I am a textile artist, photographer, and educator. Unblended Project is a photo and interview series that celebrates Black and Asian friendships. As an extension of Unblended Project, we hosted Bloom, a Black and Asian friendship making and bouquet making experience at Think Chinatown. This was in April 2023, sponsored by the What Can We Do grant. This was also a collaboration with Joy Flower Pot, which is an Asian-owned floral shop. They're amazing. Definitely check them out. Here's a short reel of our event. Enjoy. We had an incredible tournament. It was outstanding. So many people came through. We had a huge social media response. So if you came or you shared the flyer, thank you so much for your support. One of my favorite moments from Bloom was definitely making a new friend. An Asian femme approached me and we had an intimate conversation about friendship and how it's transformed throughout our lives so far. And at the end, she gave me a bouquet that she made just for me. So that was something that I really cherished about the day. Yeah, I think my favorite part is actually the reflections that I received from folks via DM, email after the event. And especially a lot of young people saying how much it meant for them to have an event that was specifically about making new friends. I think a huge feedback that we received, yes, at Bloom, but across the span of our projects, this yearning for connection and new connection and interracial connections in our community. You can stay connected to us and follow our projects at the handle at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much, A4, for all your support. And I've been loving to just see all the incredible new projects that are coming out of this mini grant program. Thanks.
So next up is Christina Han, another video.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you as a firm believer in the power of art and the resilience of the human spirit. I would like to express my gratitude to the Asian American Arts Alliance, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the City Council, Justin, and Marilee for their unwavering support in my journey as an aspiring art therapist. Through my volunteer work as a therapeutic art facilitator in Brooklyn, I have witnessed the life-changing power of art in the lives of children and youth. However, I face challenges in sourcing diverse materials for my workshops. But thanks to the collaboration between A4 and Materials for the Arts, I was able to embark on transformative journeys for this What Can We Do community care project. One of these inspirational projects I directed, the Therapeutic Mandala Project, had a powerful impact on AAPI seniors at Hamilton-Madison House in Chinatown. Through guided meditation practices, we discovered the intrinsic value of positive energy through words, empowering the seniors on their journey of self-realization. Another project, the Intergenerational Therapeutic Art Project, titled Stepping Out of Comfort Zones, brought together a various group of seniors and youth volunteers all together. By engaging in different materials, familiar and unfamiliar, participants fearlessly delved into uncharted territory, instilling an unshakable sense of resilience within each participant. These projects not only impacted the participants, but also sparked inspiration and led to further opportunities. I'm so grateful for the chance to reach and create meaningful impacts for senior constituents at other branches of Hamilton-Madison House. In closing, I would like to share a powerful quote from one of the participants. My feelings were happier and more cheerful. I can be a very creative person, and I should let myself breathe for a little. This is related to resilience to me because of how I'm still available to create beautiful things, even when I'm stressed. Flags within each of us, waiting to be unlocked through the cathartic process of creation. I'm honored to have played a role in their journey, and I'm forever grateful for the support of A4 and Hamilton-Madison House that made this momentous experience possible. Together, let us continue to uplift society through art, fostering resilience and empowering individuals to create a brighter future for all. Thank you.
We're gonna take this getting up and getting down. All right, so next up, so Hannah, Meow, and Lynn, Flynn.
Oh, hey y'all. So Chinatown Photo Album is an intergenerational, community sourced archive collecting biological and chosen family photos with ties to Manhattan's Chinatown by telling Manhattan Chinatown's history through the eyes of its people. We aim to preserve the neighborhood's cultural heritage in the face of gentrification. So we blend oral storytelling, digital archiving, as well as intergenerational knowledge building in order to sort of carry our project out. And we do this through three main components. The first one being our Instagram archive, where we have this ongoing digital archive of the family photos. You can follow us for upcoming events and to see all of the stories that we tell at our Instagram Chinatown Photo Album. The second component, we bring our project out of the digital sphere and into the physical by putting all of our photos that we collect into a print zine, making our stories accessible to everyone. We plan to distribute the zines for free to all of the participants as well as community members. And it's going to be funded partially by the Launchment Project. So we're really excited to put 1 year's worth of photos. It's essentially a collective photo album of everyone's family photos related to Chinatown. The third is an ongoing photo archiving workshop series that is in person. Here we invite community members to bring their family photos to different spaces. Our first one was at Chinatown, and we have future ones at the Chinese American Social Services, as well as APEX, activating community members to digitize their family photos through our scanner. And they also have the option to put it in our digital as well as print.
So yeah, we're so thankful for the micro grant for allowing us to purchase the scanner with which we are utilizing for the photo archiving workshops, as well as other materials, and for connecting us with Think Chinatown as amazing collaborators. I think a learning for Lynn and I through this is just how important really kind of slow, intentional community building is when doing this kind of collective based work. I think we were really worried about turnout, but we found that we drew this very intimate group of participants who we were able to have these really deep connections with through the family photographs and talking about our personal histories. Including Jeff and Janelle we met at the workshop pile. And that those connections have continued to grow and led us to future collaborations as we work to put this project out. And yeah, I think the reflections from the participants have also been heartwarming, like some of the other grantees have mentioned, talking about sparking family conversations with family members, and just this feeling of tapping into a collective history. And so, yeah, moving forward, we're going to keep building this project out. If you want to stay tuned with our work, like Lynn said, follow us on Instagram. If you have family photos and stories, we collect submissions either through the events or through email and DM. So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for
This is one of the testimonials.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much to A4 and to our council member for this opportunity. My name is Dominique Nisperos. I am 1/3 of Banana Ketchup Comedy. If you don't know about us yet, you should, and you should come check us out. Follow us online at Banana Ketchup Comedy. So we actually are a trio of 3 Filipinx comedians who started during 2020 when API hate was on the rise and we were experiencing it ourselves. And as 3 5'2" and under women in comedy, we somehow thought it was a good time to go start doing comedy in the middle of the street in Chinatown. So we started doing these outdoor comedy shows, partnering with Asian owned businesses here in Chinatown and the larger area, trying to bring traffic to their community organizations that they were coming in and having there, as well as sharing food. When I tell you that Banana Ketchup Comedy is the best comedy show in New York City, I am not lying. Everywhere else you go, there will be a basement with a 2-drink minimum, and our partners often feed everyone for free. So find a place that's better than that, I dare you. So we are Filipinx led, but we actually have the mission to highlight voices that are diverse and often marginalized in the comedy community. So women, queer people, BIPOC folks. And we use this grant to actually have a show in a venue we hadn't had before. On May 13th, we partnered with Nori Thai Bazaar, and we brought together a diverse group of comedians. Come on in, there's room in the front. I promise I won't make fun of you. So we put together this lineup. The title of our show was Asian Femmes, Thems, and Friends. I might have mixed it up because I'm a little dyslexic. But nevertheless, we actually wanted to center the voices of API women, the Asian people in lineups. And if we do see them, they're mainly men. So we thought, hey, what the hell? Why don't we have a lineup of women, non-binary, and queer people? There was not a single straight Asian man on the show. We wouldn't let them in the door. But that said, our audience members were about 1/3 of people who had purchased tickets in advance. a third of folks who just walked in, and a third of people who were there to buy drinks. Those kind of synergies often happen with banana ketchup, and it was really lovely to bring that into a new venue and share that with new faces. And one of my favorite experiences of the show, besides the diverse lineup that we had, was one of my friends who was a South Asian comedian yelling at the white people to shut up and keep it down in the back, which you never see that at comedy clubs. We actually had a diverse representation, not just in terms of gender and sexuality, but also in terms of East Asian, South Asian, and Southeast Asian representation, as well as multiracial Asians. One of the couples that came to the show who were only there to run errands and get their nails done and then just happened to pass by was truly one of my joys. They stayed and bought us drinks, and people talked about what it meant to be Asian and talked about their own version of funny stories. Because frankly, just being Asian and being funny and having the gall to stand up and tell your story is a radical act. So using that opportunity, we made more connections with other spaces in the tri-state area. Some of those folks said in their quotes were, "This is the best. I'm so glad I wandered in." And you need to come to Jersey because there are so many Asians in Jersey, which is exactly what we will do. So thank you so much. Check us out. I'm Dominique. You can follow me online at Dom Loves Life on Instagram. Thank you. Next up is Jessie Obremski. Jessie.
Hi everyone, I'm tall. Hi everyone, my name is Jessie Obremski. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a Japanese American artist, dancer, performer, director, curator. And I created through my Give Me company, where I perform full-time as an artistic associate, my Give Me company Moving Towards Justice Fellowship, which is called Our Paths, and in partnership with my contemporary dance company, which is Obremski Works. And with that, we created the AAPI Visa Support Workshop. As a born and raised New Yorker, I don't have that experience. And the main emphasis of Our Paths is to create empathy amongst any kind of experience. And so as a Japanese American, I felt that I needed to speak on or share space with others to speak on their experiences and processes within the visa, being $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 for the potential of 3 years. And some may have that experience here. And so the picture on the left were the guest speakers. And Rohan was also a Jaden Wong awardee through the A4 programming, as well as myself in 2016. And the top picture was Naw Law, which is a law firm that specifically addresses visa support. And they have offered free consultation to anyone who emailed me or registered or came to the event for their process and beginning their visa process. Alongside this, I had the Commission on Human Rights have a guest come in to speak about just general rights after becoming having their citizenship, whether it's visa O1B or green card or things like that. But it was fantastic to be able to have this at Give Me and have the A4 support to be able to compensate the individuals for their time and to have every single person. I felt like Oprah a bit, where they're underneath every single chair. There's a binder with folders and Post-its to organize all of the literature and programs and having people to connect to translators. And so that was a fantastic thing I will look at my notes, to share. I think overall, there was an incredible, overwhelming online desire to connect with this project. And so next year, I want to do a virtual one because there are some AAPI individuals in Canada and Japan and China who are not yet in the States, who are really asking about that process for their first visa. So I want to do an online program. I want to do it annually every year and as part of a AAPI dance festival. So that'll be a culminating factor in May of 2024 that I've kind of already begun. And I want to read some specific quotes because I always had a spreadsheet of some thoughts. It's really hard to collect information by yourself, and it's not something you can do right away. So it's very important to have this clear information. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. I'm so glad I came, and it helped me get the information that I needed, and I feel like I'm not alone. And it's very important for me to know how to act concretely today. And so I really appreciate the feedback that people shared, but to be able to share that space with others to be able to connect for their visa process. Yeah. Thank you.
Jessica is here. Is Jessica here?
No,
She's not here yet.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Okay.
present on her behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Let me just pull up. Let's see. Brings down. Okay, so. Okay. So Jessica, along with Kara Hin and Sarah Shin, organized, and they are known as Queer Asian Babes. They organized their inaugural event called Don't Tell Scarlet, a speakeasy mixer for queer and trans Asian, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders in arts and entertainment. Community members at any point in their queer journey and artistic practice were encouraged to join us for an evening of free food and drink and performances. Goals for this semi-guided but mostly casual space were to uplift intersectionality, create queer joy, and foster connection. And this happened in May in Chinatown, and they reached 94 people. And I'm going to go ahead and advance the slides so you can see some photos from the mixer. Looks like a lot of fun. Oh, and the masks are really cool. Yeah, that's it. Okay, Ramona? Is Ramona here? Ramona White? Fun.
I'm Ramona. I'm a dance-based artist, or you can call it photographer. I'm Chinese and I'm not American. But yeah, but I'm really happy to be doing this with Minkwon. And this project was originally based on my website, an interactive network website that I created. It's a archive of it, but it's like a curated archive of titles written by AAPI authors from 1999 to 2021. And the reason I chose the year is because I was looking up data of hate crime against the Asian American and victims. And so I wanted to include the data in the website. So like, I want to put this out so people can, so they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So there will be graphic that reflects on the data of each year, and then it's basically a list of these titles written by API authors. And yeah, and for this specific project, I used a fund to make in collaboration with Risograph Studio to make these risograph prints, and I did one of them is to make the table display in this bookstore. It's called P&T Knitwear in Lower East Side because I work there. Yeah, so I just made this book display, and then the original idea was that people whenever people buy a book on this display in the list, and the bookstore will donate part of the profit to the organization, but I haven't gotten to check how much we made on this, but I wish it would be like ongoing, but then we changed the theme this year of this month. I mean, it's not May anymore. And the second part is I went to the ME bookstore, and then I asked them if I can sell the prints over there, and they're really nice. I asked them if they do consignment, and they're like, no, it's fine. You can just put it here. So I also need to check in with them and see how much I sell, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the point of like selling the prints, or like I just want to get the words out, and then like to do the archiving itself. It's a really great project.
And my friend waiting is here, and she invited me to put these prints to her table. In the next couple weeks, there's gonna be a art book fair by Prints and Matter in East Village. So I hope that I can distribute these prints more. That's about it.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have a video from Wan.
Oh, by the way, are these copies for everyone?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't actually hand it out to everyone, because I wasn't
Okay.
sure if we're just passing it
Oh.
around, or, oh, yeah. So perfect.
I can leave it there. Oh, my day.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Cece Wang. I am a painter and graphic designer. For my project, I collaborated with Red Canary Song and my own organization, Asian for Sex Positivity, and created a mental health campaign titled It's Okay to Ask. This campaign was very much inspired by my own experience with mental health. I grew up in a household where mental health was never talked about and always felt scared to reach out for help, whether that's finding therapy or seeing a counselor at school. And I think that's a very common experience for AAPI folks, where talking about mental health is very taboo. So the goal of this campaign was to tackle three main things. One being the mental health stigma, as there are a lot of studies out there that show that Asian Americans are the least likely racial group to take actions on their mental health. Two, we wanted to tackle the language barrier, because language inaccessibility in healthcare systems really affects our ability to get care that is linguistically and culturally competent. Three, we wanted to tackle limited health literacy among Asian American immigrants, which often leads to underutilization of necessary medical care. As a part of the campaign, I designed 6 unique posters. Each design highlighted a different quote, and I wanted to make sure that these quotes really speak to Asian Americans, mainly to help people feel less alone in their experiences, while also letting them know that finding mental health help shouldn't be something that's shameful. So each design was also translated into Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and Tagalog, because I wanted to make sure that this campaign was as accessible as possible to the communities we were serving. On each poster, as well, is a QR code that leads to a website with mental health resources for AAPI folks in New York City. These posters were printed out and mailed to a couple of different AAPI organizations in Chinatown and Flushing, and were also distributed on social media platforms. This was the first time that I've ever worked on a campaign as a designer, and it was definitely a rewarding experience. I've lived in New York City for almost 10 years now and didn't realize how much mental health resources there are out there, specifically for Asian folks. Huge thanks to A4 and Red Canary Song for supporting this project, and thank you all for listening.
Some pictures. A really beautiful campaign. Okay, next is Cindy. Oh, you're right here. Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy, and fun fact, Shishi and I were elementary school classmates in Vancouver, Canada. And so this opportunity kind of helped us reconnect after 10 years. So small world, that's just the community that this organization is fostering. And to talk a bit about the Polaroid photo booth, we set up camp outside of Madison House, which serves low-income families in Chinatown. And we had an open table set up with refreshments and stickers for decorating. And, you know, the tagline was simple: come get a free Polaroid. And the reason that I was inspired to do this was we take so many photos on our phones, but rarely do we get the physical copy printed out. And so what I wanted to do here was have a memory that you can see and hold in your hand. You could paste it up on your refrigerator door or keep it in your wallet, but it's something tangible that's there. And what was most surprising with this whole process was the amount of people that we served. We gave out 80 Polaroids in total, and also the scope of age range. We had people from all like ethnic backgrounds come, socioeconomic backgrounds, but just seeing the kids and the adults coming and also the elderly coming, that was really heartwarming. And it was really precious to see how different generations reacted to getting their photos taken. A lot of the older folks, they were really embarrassed. They said, no, I don't look good today. Like, I'm not wearing my best clothes, but we did our best to make them feel comfortable in their own skin. And yeah, I think it was a really nourishing and supportive time for everyone in that project. And a lot of the testimonials and feedback was, when are you coming back? So we'll see if we could do a part 2 or 3, but I think it sparked a lot of joy that day, bright and sunny in New York City. And thank you, A4, for this opportunity and grant. Thank you.
Okay, Chiman. Hey.
Hey everyone, do you have the video inside?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
I
it's-
just the photos
Okay.
for
okay.
this one, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, hi everyone, Jimmy here. I'm a green space choreographer. I do contemporary dance, also a graphic designer. So through this program, working with the program, I hosted 2 community dance workshop, one in Museum of Chinese in America, one in Flushing Town Hall. And this workshop was so in this workshop, I specifically focusing on movement that are inspired by food making and AAPI food making. I create a piece called Here with Roots, and in this piece, I focus on Asian immigrants' experience. It's centering on Chinese immigrant population in Flushing area. So through that piece, I work with dancers to create some gestures about food making, such as making dumplings. And I really want to share that with a broader audience, and through this workshop, I was able to share with more people. Also, I want to, because also contemporary dance was not very known. I also use this opportunity to introduce contemporary dance to more people and AAPI community members to encourage them to express themselves and their identities through movements. Usually when people see AAPI dance, it's more associated with traditional way of dancing, but how through this movement, people can be inspired to use our heritage to create a contemporary movement that allow them to just express themselves and enjoy the fun of movement. So yeah, we had participate in the workshop. I did also some very fun movement game with them and interactive partnering exercises and some warm up. And they had a lot of fun. We didn't see. Yeah, I'm gonna put a video, but yeah, okay. Basically in the workshop, the fun interactive game. So basically partnering up, clapping hands and with some footwork, and also for the my thoughts jumping around. For the food making, I want to demonstrate a very simple gesture that we created. So basically, so this is so for dumpling making you have a feeling, and it's the skin, and you put it together and you zip it. Very simple gestures. And so some sprinkling of seasoning. We'll do this. And very easy, simple. I made it easy so that people can learn it and have fun with it. But that's it. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, and so our last artist for tonight is Grace. Michelle.
bit taller, but yeah, that's what we get for having last name that starts with the. We're always at the end. Hi everyone, my name is Grace Zhao. Use she, her, hers pronouns. It's a pleasure to be with you all this evening and a pleasure to meet a number of you in person. Do want to really thank A4 and Justine and Lisa and Danny especially for just helping me coordinate, and for Jeff as well, who in early stages was in cahoots and helping to brainstorm. The workshop that I ran titled "We Make This for Us" was a gathering space for AAPI artists of all sorts of media. So Cindy was one of the attendees. I invited AAPI artists to bring some portable format of their art, whether that is a musical instrument, a sketch pad, a laptop, a writing utensil, whatever it is that they feel they can express through in a space. And what I wanted to foster at first was actually very unclear, and through back and forth with Jeff and through a lot of conversation, I really boiled down what kind of business a management consultant had leading several artists in a workshop on one weekend. What I settled on was the value of affinity and cross-pollination in an artistic sphere, and perhaps how rare that can feel. I, of course, am someone who invests myself in thinking about this topic a lot. I applied to this grant, I invest myself in these spaces, but I realized that, of course, Asian Americanness is anything but monolithic, and that also means it's very found, it's very horizontal. For me personally, as a child of immigrants, for example, my Asian Americanness did not come descended from my parents in a vertical lineage. Rather, it was an exploration for me to extend my arms outward and find my peers and my classmates and mentors that are not connected vertically by blood. And so I wanted to invite the attendees to engage in this space together and just share parts of what we reckon with. And so I pitched everyone a creative writing exercise. I said, let the pen hit the paper, don't cross yourself out, do not filter yourself. Think about, have you ever engaged in an identity reckoning when you make art? Why or why not? Addendum. Are there any icks? Are there any comforts or discomforts that come with thinking about how to engage, right? We think about, for me, I think about the color red, the lanterns, the way they are on the walls. All of these things evoke something for me. Why do I choose to or choose not to use them as imagery in my art, for example? What happened in these dozen attendees was a very grounding and humbling experience that I realized I was very lucky to have taken for granted in other contexts. The attendees and their feedback included things like, we should really all learn to speak in drafts. And I didn't know I needed this. And thank you for cultivating this. I don't know where else I would have found it. So having this kind of feedback from the participants, I have been very much inspired and intrigued by the concept of doing it again. All my thanks to A4 for the opportunity. Thanks all.
So I think that brings us to a close. If anybody had questions, we were happy to open up the floor for questions, either for Justine for anybody or for each other. Because these projects were really beautiful, and I'm just impressed by all of you, just the creativity and the generosity, the intensity, the beauty. So I want to thank you all for this. It's really meaningful to see. And I really hope we can do it again next year. So keep an eye out. We'll be letting you know. Let's hope we get the money. Does anybody have any other questions or anything you want to share? Also, just wanted to shout out Harley. Is he still here? Oh, he left. Okay, he was one of the artists who participated in the Flushing project. So I think that's all. All right. Yeah. Thank you all. Let's please join us for some thank you.